What's up, everyone? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. As always, we have to talk about this girl, apparently, because everyone's talking about... Oh, I love doing things live. I love how that trigger... Yes, I do have a trigger, but... this girl right here, we have to talk about her, and because everyone's talking about this narcissist that wants attention. Yeah, she was set up, and I guess the country I'm forced to run for, and I'm forced to throw a hammer for, and I'm forced to be a part of in the world's most dangerous and horrible country that doesn't support me and my people, and that's what the media tells me to think, so I think this way. Look, I don't understand why this girl's getting attention. As the rhyme goes, first is the worst, second is actually the best, which looking back as a kid, I wonder, why did I say that? Why was that a rhyme? Why was that indoctrinated into me as second is the best? When is second ever the best? Anyways, first the worst, second is the best, and third is actually the one with the hairy chest. Everyone knows that. She has the hairy chest, and so we'll pray for her. We're worried about her. We're worried about how hairy that chest really is. I don't know. Yeah, we're talking about her. We're giving her attention because I don't know why she deserves all the attention in the world. She claims she was set up and didn't want this attention, but give me a break. She loves it. She's getting exactly what she wanted. I'm sure she'll be supported. I'm sure there'll be a GoFundMe set up for her to receive more money. Maybe Nike will give her the deal of the century because, just like Colin Kaepernick, stand up for something, even if it means that you become a millionaire. I mean, you lose everything, whatever they say before. Why are we talking about someone in third place? Who cares? But let's get into some of these videos coming out as people in the media are reacting. Let's hear what Dan Crenshaw has to say. What does Crenshaw know? It's not like he's a Navy SEAL and only has one eye.
She turned her back on the flag during the anthem, and she also put a black T-shirt over her face that said, activist athlete.
We don't need any more activist athletes. She should be removed from the team. The entire point of the Olympic team is to represent the United States of America. It's the entire...
Dan, how dare you say these dangerous words?
Point. Okay, so, it's one thing when these NBA players do it. Okay, fine, we'll just stop watching. But now the Olympic team, and it's multiple cases of this, they should be removed. That should be the bare minimum requirement, is that you believe in the country representing. But look...
Or they can go run for their own country.
She turned her back on the flag, shirt over her face.
We don't need any more activist athletes. She should be removed from the team. The entire point of the Olympic team is to represent the United States of America. That's the entire point. Okay, so it's one thing when these NBA players do it.
Dan, it's about representing yourself and your moral values, and everyone should be put on. She has a platform, and she has to say these things. Dan, how dare you, Dan?
Okay, fine, we'll just stop watching. But now the Olympic team, and it's multiple cases of this. They should be removed. That should be the bare minimum requirement, is that you believe in the country.
Okay, so Dan wants her to be removed. I wonder what the White House has to say about this. Gwen Berry. This is the most anyone's ever talked about her in her life. Again, she was third place. Okay, 3. Shout out to her makeup team though. Love that little line in the lip thing. That's dope.
Bill and piece of legislation.
Okay,
go ahead.
Just one more. This weekend, Gwen Berry, who hosts
Peter, shut your mouth. Okay, you can't just run around asking real questions to me.
Just one more. This weekend, Gwen Berry, who hopes to represent the United States as an Olympian on the hammer throwing events, won a bronze medal at the trials, and then she turned her back.
Okay, again, am I the only one that didn't know what hammer throwing was? I was like, what? Shot put? Javelin? Hammer throwing.
on the flag while the anthem played. Does President Biden think that is appropriate behavior for someone who hopes to represent Team USA?
Well, Peter, I haven't spoken to the president specifically about this, but I know he's incredibly proud to be an American and has great respect for the anthem and all that it represents, especially for our men and women serving in uniform all around the world. But he would also say, of course, that part of that pride in our country means recognizing there are moments where we are, as a country, haven't lived up to our highest ideals. And it means respecting the right of people granted to them in the Constitution to peacefully.
This narrative that America hasn't lived up to its ideals made sense when Martin Luther King was alive and Jim Crow and all that stuff. But we live in the freest, most prosperous nation in the world. Okay.
Protest. Go ahead.
I want to switch gears real quickly.
So, Joe Biden thinks that she has the right to protest, and what do you think? Look, I'm going to be honest about this. I'm going to just say it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about these athletes. I don't care about their little stories, and I don't care about their activism. Are they good, decent human beings? Don't care. Can they throw a javelin farther than everyone else to make America look awesome? Fantastic. This whole thing about platforms and athletes and actors and news anchors and celebrities and Instagram models and TikTokers with a blue check mark feel like they need to tell you their thoughts on political things, which is always ironic when people like LeBron talk about America and how terrible a place it is, as he became a multimillionaire straight out of high school. So if he wants to talk to me about suffering, most of my life, some of the worst times of my life, were in my up to 18, but it got really bad in my 20s when I was struggling to survive and struggling to pay rent. He's never had to pay rent before. I don't care about people's activism stances if they're an athlete. Your job is to be an athlete. Be an athlete. I'm just over watching. I watch sports as a way to escape some of the difficulties in life, because maybe you're like me and sometimes it's hard to pay for your bills. Sometimes it's hard to wake up in the morning. Sometimes it's hard to, love your neighbor, love your wife, love your husband, love your kids, love your job. Sometimes it's hard to do these things. And then when we get home, we like to turn on the TV and escape this, just some of our life experiences, some of the depression, anxiety we go through every day. And so we look to sports, especially men, more than women. And that's not like a sexist comment. It's just statistically, which apparently are racist. But it's just because women don't have enough information. That's why they don't like sports. Okay, please. We turn on sports as a way to escape some of the difficulties of life and enjoy a game and just enjoy people, putting a ball through a hoop. It sounds so childish and dumb when you think about it, but at the same time, that pride, that energy you get from rooting on your team and that collectivism you feel through, rooting on whatever team that you like, that feeling of being outside of yourself and being for something bigger is so much fun until they start talking about politics. And then it just reminds you of how the real world is and how exhausting the world is. That's why people like sports. People like sports because it's an escape from the difficulties and some of the real hardships that come from a real life situation of clocking into work and getting that paycheck and walking away and then going to have to pay for a meal or getting in a fight with your wife or husband and then trying to make up and stuff like that. Sports give us this feeling of escape from that and give us and not it's not that you're escaping your emotions and you're just neglecting who you are. There's just a moment of I don't have to worry about the difficulties in life right now. I'm watching the game. I'm enjoying the moment. It's not like a thing of we think athletes are stupid, so we don't want them to talk. That has nothing to do with it. We look at sports. I mean, I always laugh when sports players talk about like the trials and tribulations or like adversity they feel. I'm like, give me a break. Your adversity is a defender that pushes you a little bit more, or you know, you just didn't score this week, or maybe the media wasn't kind to you. I'm like, sometimes I struggle to pay for my food at the end of the week because of how much I've made. Do you know what that struggle is like? That's a little bit harsher. And I'm not saying that like there's like a suffering spectrum, because you never want to get into who's suffering more, because you'll always lose that argument. There's always someone in the world that's suffering more than you. You never want to compare your suffering. That's why you don't want to beat up on yourself when you're actually feeling bad, because there's always somebody doing better than you, and there's always somebody doing worse than you. But sports is a way to escape that suffering. And we're in a crossroads right now where I'm somewhat cheering seeing the NBA numbers, how they're just completely fallen. I used to love watching the NBA, and now I hate it. And all I can think when I see players is their whatever stupid political thing they said, as they take more money from China, as you know, China has actual slaves in their country, where these women from North Korea get sold to men because of the one-child policy. So they actually have a sex trafficking and slaves being put in China, and NBA players have the audacity to talk about the negative aspects of America, and then when they get questioned about China, they say that's China's thing. These players, they don't have all day to talk about politics and think through these things. They're focused on their craft, which is great. So when they speak up, you're like, are you even paying attention? Do you know what you're saying? That's why you see this woman who turns her back on the anthem, the one thing that set slaves free, the one country that gave her the opportunity to even be in the position she's in. Let her go to another country and try to do that. See what happens. I'm tired of seeing. I'm tired of fighting against this idea that America's this terrible place. Only people that think that have never traveled outside of the country. And you're like, wow, that's. And you know, I haven't traveled much out of the country, but I've done it through YouTube, and I've done it through just studying and learning and knowing about what's going on in cultures. So by knowing and vicariously through other friends who have gone to China, who have gone to Africa, and talked to me about, like, we have it so great here. And people are forgetting that, but I am pushing back. I'm done. I'm just done with these athletes and their feeling the need to speak up on their platform. I don't know about you. Let me know your thoughts on that. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Derek O'Shea Show. Appreciate you guys so much. Please share this video on all social media platforms. It would help me grow. And I just thank you so much for watching this video, taking the time to watch me instead of some other jerk. or wasting your time on cable news networks when you could be just enjoying an independent person speaking from the heart. And I don't have corporate interests telling me what to say, because I pay for my service to host my podcast. I pay for the equipment that I use. Like, this is all through my heart and passion. And that's why I do what I do. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in the show. I appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic day. See you on the next episode. Appreciate you.